All right, San Antonio Spurs lose to the New Orleans Pelicans 104 to 95. In the first half, I was going back and forth. All right, for the second half, to be fair, so I didn't see every single second of the second half. But initial take. All right, San Antonio Spurs lose to the New Orleans Pelicans. All right, San Antonio for a dunk and dude, just wait in the paint. Basically, you can't stand there and get a defensive three, but just wait in the paint and just meet Zion, meet whoever it is right there at the rim. And shout out to Zion, shout out to the Pelicans. They played a great game. They beat us and they just outplayed us and they deserved the win. But with it just made no sense to me why Wemby kept trying to guard Zion out by the 3-point line and he kept getting blown by. I saw that at least 5 different times in the first half, and we just made no adjustments. Wemby didn't make any adjustments. Mitch Johnson at that point should make some adjustments. As our head coach, should put us in a better position to guard Zion, but Zion's just a freaking beast out there. He's a tank. He's in a contract year this season, so we're gonna see the best Zion of the rest of his career this season. Then next season, after he gets paid, he's gonna get fat and stop caring about basketball. I hope he doesn't. Maybe he turned the corner or something, but that fucking gumbo is good down there in New Orleans. But anyway, there was another play where Wemby, he actually did back up and try to meet Zion in the paint, and Zion goes right at him. Boom, just shoulder into Wemby's chest. Wemby can't jump to block the shot, and Zion got, it was an and one lefty finish, and that was in the first half. So again, just give New Orleans credit. They played well and they beat us. We had beat New Orleans 4 times in a row before this game, and we came out to start the game like we just fucking rolled out of bed and we came out and thought New Orleans were just going to give up in the first 1 minute of the game, and they obviously didn't. Even within like the first 4 minutes, I was like, I don't like this, dude. We are not playing hard. We are not playing with any effort out here. And like I said, we just came out expecting New Orleans just to roll over and die the first 2 minutes of the game, and they don't have a great record, but they're a talented team. They have Zion, of course. Jeremiah Fears is a good rookie. I like Derek Queen, Herb Jones, and Trey Murphy III. They have a lot of talent on their team. I heard Sean Elliott talking on the broadcast. He was saying, "Man, if New Orleans is healthy, I was expecting them to be a top 6 seed in the West. I wouldn't go that far. I don't think they would be a legit playoff team as far as top 6, but I think they would land anywhere between 7 and 10. I think New Orleans would be a playing team if they were fully healthy and if they had Zion playing like he's able to, but he's so up and down out here. But anyway, New Orleans, they beat us by 9 points. We have a crazy comeback. We're down 19 or 20 points in the third quarter. We have an insane comeback. Looks like we were in shape to win the game. I'm happy we came back at least. We weren't able to close the game, but at least we didn't roll over and die when we were down by 20. New Orleans just crushed us on the glass. They have 58 rebounds. We have 46. We'll get to kind of the exact player stats in a second here, but off the top of my head, I think we had 10 offensive rebounds and New Orleans had 20. So they literally doubled us up in the offensive rebounds, and it's hard to win a game when the other team has 12 more rebounds than you, and especially when they have twice as many offensive rebounds, because they get the offensive rebound and they spray it out for a three. They miss the three, they get the offensive rebound again, and they take another three, and we just couldn't do it. Wemby needed some help. Wemby had 16 rebounds, but we just need another we need a physical guy at the power forward position. So we'll see if we make a move at the trade deadline. New Orleans has 23 assists. We have 22. We did a good job moving the ball and playing as a team, but we just did not have the energy or the effort to win. New Orleans has 3 steals. We have 2. We have 5 blocks. New Orleans has 5 blocks. That's a wash. We have 11 turnovers. They have 10. Again, it wasn't a problem of us executing. It wasn't a problem of us not taking care of the ball. I want to say De'Aaron Fox had 4 turnovers, so that wasn't great, but we get Devin Vassell back. We're trying to reincorporate Devin Vassell back into the offense and just get gelled together again. I can't say how many games we've played as a fully healthy team, but it's got to be less than 10. So we're trying to get used to having De'Aaron Fox out there with Wemby and Vassell and then making our rotations off the bench. We started Harrison Barnes in this game. Harrison Barnes, He needs to go to the bench, dude, but we'll get to that in a second. They shoot 40% from the field. We also shoot 40% from the field. It was just a rock fight out there. And again, we just could not get rebounds. We're 27% from three. They're also 27%, 76% from the line for New Orleans. We're 60%, actually 59% from the line. So bad free throw shooting and just lack of rebounding really killed us in this game. Oh, that's ridiculous. New Orleans had 56 points in the paint. We had 32. They nearly had twice as many points in the paint as we did. And, I said it was just offensive rebounding and free throw shooting. It was also us defending the paint. Again, Zion, just their whole team, they're just going at Wemby. And I'm sad we lost the game, but I'm happy for New Orleans because they just attacked Wemby. If I wasn't a Spurs fan, I was a Pelicans fan, I'd be saying this is exactly how you need to attack Wembanyama. And, I wouldn't say that I drew the blueprint. I think most teams know you have to be physical with Wemby. If you don't go into his body, you're probably going to get your shot swatted. If you do go into his body, you're still going to get your shot swatted maybe 50% of the time, but at least you can draw some fouls on Wemby, and at least you can play with that physicality against him, try to take away some of his energy. And, Zion and the rest of the Pelicans just did a great job attacking Wemby. Speaking of offensive rebounds, they have 3 times as many second chance points as we do, 27-9. So, again, just the offensive rebounds just destroyed us. We have 16 fast break points. They only have 2. Fast break points are cool, but they're not as impactful as second chance points at the end of the day. Moving on to the player stats. We'll start with New Orleans. Trey Murphy, we've been trying to trade for this guy for the past 3 seasons. Trey Murphy's amazing. He has 17 points this game and the 9 assists. Solid game. He wasn't efficient. He shoots 31% from the field, so that's not good, but he still had a good impact on the game overall. Herb Jones has 9 points. We've been trying to trade for Herb Jones the past 2 years as well, it seems like, but he has 9 points. He's 1 for 4 from 3. Not a great game, but he always plays elite defense on the perimeter. Zion just destroyed us. He has 24 points, 10 rebounds. He's 10 for 18. He was just attacking Wemby's body. He did such a great job. Again, shout out to the Pelicans. They just outplayed us out there, dude. Saddiq Bey has 24 points on 7 for 15 and 10 rebounds. Him and Zion both had 24 points and 10 rebounds. They're just 2 really physical players, and everyone says it. People looking from the outside in at the Spurs, even most Spurs fans will admit it, but we have a problem with physicality. We can beat physical teams. It's not like we can't win the games, but like I was saying before, we need an upgrade at small forward or power forward. We need an upgrade from Harrison Barnes, basically. He's we'll get to him in a second. We need a more physical power forward out there that can help Wemby, because Wemby had 16 rebounds this game. It's not like he wasn't attacking the glass and doing a good job getting rebounds, but we need someone to guard like a Zion out there. We don't want Wemby just banging with guys like that all game long because it takes away from his energy out there. Derek Queen has 4 points and 4 rebounds. I love Derek Queen. He's still a rookie, and he had kind of a rookie performance this game, but I think Derek Queen's a really promising young player. Missy has the 10. It's ridiculous. 10 points and 14 rebounds. He's a really physical player as well, and we just got bodied out there, dude. We got out physicaled. I like Jeremiah Fears a lot as well. He has the 8 points and 3 rebounds. Not a crazy game for him, but he's a really promising young rookie as well. I hate Jose Alvarado, but I love Jose Alvarado at the same time. He has 6 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. He gave them really good energy when he came off the bench, as he always does. That's about it. Just Zion Williamson, Saddiq Bey, and Missy. They just destroyed us. They had 34 rebounds between those 3 guys, so they had almost as many rebounds as our whole team between those 3 guys. Moving on, though, De'Aaron Fox has the 12 points. He's 50% from the field. I don't know why he only took 8 shots, to be honest. De'Aaron Fox should take freaking 14-plus shots every single game, in my opinion, but he only takes the 8 shots. 12 points, 7 assists. He does have the 4 turnovers. Not a great game for most of our team. Not a great game for De'Aaron Fox. He's 50% from the field. He hits 3 of his 5 threes. So that's good to see, his 3 ball is starting to get back together. He's 1 for 4 from the line, so that's not really like him, but we shot just terrible from the line. As a team, I make the point, I'd rather see De'Aaron Fox being our primary ball handler our primary decision maker over Steph Castle. Castle had a really bad game this game. He takes 6 shots, only scores 5 points on his 6 shots. He's 0 for 2 from 3. I kind of don't even want Castle taking threes. I know he has to shoot some to develop his three ball, but I'll see him. Let me know if y'all agree with me. Every time Castle takes a three, unless he's in the corner, he'll be like one foot or 2 feet behind the 3-point line. I just don't get it. I guess he thinks his three ball is usually online, but he shoots it a little too far, I guess. So he's trying to compensate for that by by being 1 foot behind the 3-point line, because they feels like his shot is 1 foot too far, if that makes sense. So he thinks taking that 1 foot step back is going to compensate for his shot being too hard a lot of the time. But I love Steph Castle. I think everyone does in San Antonio. He has the worst plus minus though. He's minus 19, 4 rebounds and 5 assists. He does have 1 steal. Even when Stephon Castle isn't doing well on offense, he's our number 1 defender. Other than Wemby, he's our number 1 point of attack defender, and he's absolutely elite as a perimeter defender. Only has 2 turnovers this game. That's usually why I want to see De'Aaron Fox being the primary decision maker over Stephon Castle, is because he takes better care of the ball, but this game he has the 4 turnovers. But yeah, man, Stephon Castle, I feel like his shot selection has been pretty poor lately. He'll get into the paint and he'll make a couple of dribble moves and he'll crash. He'll get into like car crashes with 7-footers, and then he'll kind of hope he gets the foul called, and a lot of the time it results in him getting ripped going up. Maybe he gets the shot blocked, where he gets into some really tough finish inside the restricted area, where with De'Aaron Fox, I feel like he does a better job just kind of probing into the paint. De'Aaron Fox, it happens sometimes, but he usually doesn't go up for reckless shots, where I feel like Stephon Castle has been taking a lot of reckless shots lately and just going into the paint really without having a plan. He just jumps up into the air and then hopes something opens up while he's in the air. I've noticed with Stephon Castle a lot as well. He'll get in the paint, he'll jump up into the air. His mindset is to pass the ball. He wants to make a pass, but he'll jump in the air, he'll turn and look into the corner for Harrison Barnes or Julian Champagnie. They're covered. Then he turns to the wing. He's still in the air, and he's trying to make like 3 different reads. He jumps up. All right, Luke Cornett's not there for the lob. I'm going to look into the corner. Champagnie's covered. I'm going to look to the wing. Harrison Barnes is covered as well. And then he throws like some reckless pass, or he takes a highly contested shot inside the restricted area. I love Stephon Castle. These are just some things I've been noticing with him. Another thing with Stephon Castle, I don't get it. He doesn't have a floater, but I feel like he could develop a floater pretty quickly. He gets into the paint. He can get 2 feet into the paint whenever he wants. He can always get 2 feet into the paint. He can get right there outside the restricted area whenever he wants, but he gets right there outside the restricted area. There's a 7-footer right there. Whoever the center is, there's a shot blocker right there. Stephon Castle, he's pretty much open for the floater. I want him to get with Tony Parker and develop a floater, develop a teardrop, because he gets into floater range whenever he wants, but once he's in range for a floater, he won't take the floater. He'll either step back for a mid-range shot, which he doesn't really have yet. I don't mind him trying to develop it, but I feel like he needs an off-season to kind of develop that shot before he takes it more in game. But again, I want him to develop a floater, because De'Aaron Fox has a floater. De'Aaron Fox has a nice-ass mid-range shot. De'Aaron Fox is just a better player and scorer than Stephon Castle right now, which isn't a slight on Stephon Castle. De'Aaron Fox is a top 10 point guard in the NBA, but again, I want to see Castle develop a floater and just not cut back on his shot attempts, but just become a better off-ball player, and mainly just develop that floater. That's the biggest hole in Stephon Castle's game right now, in my opinion. His 3-point shot and his mid-range shot, he doesn't have that in his game either, but he's trying to develop a 3-ball, trying to develop a mid-range shot. He can already finish strong inside the restricted area for the most part, but, you're already a strong finisher in the restricted area. I'd like to see Stephon Castle develop a floater. Once you have your floater down, now develop a mid-range. Once you have a consistent mid-range, now develop a 3-ball. It's the modern NBA. We feel like everyone has to shoot a 3, so it's kind of backwards from how development used to be back in the day. Because back in the day, you can finish strong in the paint. All right, cool. Now develop your floater. You have a floater. All right, cool. Now develop your mid-range shot. And then after you have a mid-range, now develop a three ball. Just like with Tony Parker could finish really strong in the paint. Then he developed his floater. All right, teams are taking away his finishes in the paint. Teams are taking away his teardrop. All right, then he developed his mid-range shot. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see for Stephon Castle. Just develop a floater and then kind of see what else opens up for your game. Because like I said, he gets into floater range whenever he wants. He just doesn't take that shot for whatever reason. I guess it's just because he doesn't have confidence in his floater quite yet. Harrison Barnes, I love Harrison Barnes. He's a great veteran for our team. His veteran leadership is awesome in the locker room. And I'm close to saying it has been awesome. It is awesome, but I feel like we should definitely send Harrison Barnes to the bench. There's no reason for Harrison Barnes to be starting anymore. We get more out of starting Devin Vassell. We're starting Carter Bryant because when Harrison Barnes' three ball is off, and it's been off for the past 20 games in a row, I literally did the math on it. He's shooting 22% for the past 21 games. And I didn't make that up. That's literally his percentages. So 22% for the past 20 games in a row. I blame Sean Elliott for calling him Mr. 100%. Harrison Barnes, he's hot for the first 10 games of the season, and now he's Mr. 100%. You look out in the stands, there's people with 100% hats and 100% shirts on, and I blame Sean Elliott partially for that, but I blame Mitch Johnson at this point. Send Harrison Barnes to the bench, dude. He's not giving us much anything out there. He's an okay defender. He's not a great rebounder. He's not a great playmaker. When he's not knocking down his three balls, he's not giving you very much outside of that. So I'd say send him to the bench. Start Carter Bryant, honestly. Baptize him by fire. He's not ready to start, to be honest, but start him or start Devin Vassell and then still play Harrison Barnes, still give him like 15 to 20 minutes per game. And then if he gets on fire again from three, then start him again. But we need to make coaching adjustments. It makes no sense to have Harrison Barnes shooting 22% from three for 22 games in a row. That's 1/4 of the season. That's not a small sample size. He's on a horrible cold streak. He's lost confidence in his shot. And so have I. We need to bench Harrison Barnes. Let him try to get back into his rhythm. If he can, then put him back in the starting lineup. But Carter Bryant, he knocked down 2 threes this game. He's 2 for 5. He gives us 6 points, 2 rebounds. He only plays 7 minutes, and he just gives you elite defense every single second he's on the court. His intangibles, his athleticism, everything like that is elite defensively. He just needs to play more minutes to get a higher IQ defensively, learn how to play within the system, learn how to play with Wembanyama and the rest of the boys, and then once he learns how to be in the right place at the right time, once he learns how to make his switches nice and crisp at the right time, then he's just going to be amazing on defense. And I feel like even right now, he's just giving us more than Harrison Barnes, even in his limited minutes. Again, I love Harrison Barnes. I'm not saying we should trade him. I'm getting closer and closer to that though, but we should definitely bench him. It makes no sense. It makes no sense for him to be playing 20 minutes per game and shooting 20% from three for 20 games in a row. Mitch Johnson's the head coach. You got to make an adjustment at this point. We're just shooting ourselves in the foot playing Harrison Barnes 20 minutes per game. Champagnie, he's 1 for 7 from three. I'm not worried about Champagnie. He is an up and down shooter, but he's been having a lot of ups. He made 11 threes a few games ago. He made 6 threes, I think, just last game. He made 8 threes probably 2 or 3 games ago. So Champagnie, he's probably, I think it's fair to say he's one of the elite shooters in the NBA. And another point I make about Champagnie, when his shot is off, at least he gives you rebounding. He gives us 4 rebounds this game. He had 11 the other game. He had 8 a couple games ago, where Harrison Barnes only has 1 rebound. I'm trying not to be a hater on Harrison Barnes, but it just is what it is. When he's not knocking down threes, he's not giving you much anything else. But Champagnie, he has an off game shooting, gives us 13 points still. So, it's okay. We just had a bad game as a team overall. We'll get to Wemby last. KJ, he has 15 points on 6 for 12 shooting, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, no turnovers. He does have the 5 fouls out there. I love KJ. Keldon's been amazing in his new role. He comes off the bench. He attacks the paint. He shoots open threes. He's shooting 40% from three this season, which is amazing. And he just attacks the offensive glass. But, we needed Keldon Johnson and his offensive rebounding this game. And I don't blame Keldon Johnson. New Orleans is just such a physical team. Zion was just destroying us on the glass. I'm blanking on his name right now. Zion and Sadiq Bey, they were just destroying us on the glass. And we just need an upgrade at the power forward position, to be honest. Again, Harrison Barnes, 5 points and 1 rebound. I can find someone else that can give me 5 points and 1 rebound. I can find someone that can give me 10 points and 5 rebounds per game, and his name is Carter Bryant, coming off the bench, and he should be starting. Anyway, Devin Vassell, he's back. We're trying to reincorporate him back into the flow of things. Again, like I said earlier, we haven't had our starting lineup out there. We haven't had the entire team healthy for even 10 games for the entire season. Same thing for the Thunder, the Nuggets. A lot of teams are dealing with injuries, so it's not like it's only our team. But with that being said, we're still learning how to kind of mesh our whole team together, being healthy. But Devin Vassell has 13 points, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 rebounds, 1 turnover. He's 2 for 8 from threes, 5 for 12 from the field. Devin Vassell, he shoots like 42% from the field on the season, so he's not incredibly efficient. He's more of a volume scorer, and he's great at doing that. He's 2 for 8 from 3, but I'm not worried about Vassell. It's his first game back, and he's just a really, really consistent scorer for us. Having Devin back is going to open up those mid-range shots. Now teams have to actually guard the mid-range area, and it's going to open up more shots for our three-point shooters. We've seen how bad we're struggling getting open 3 balls when Devin Vassell is not in the game. He's not a crazy playmaker, but it's just his gravity. He comes off a curl. He catches the ball at the free throw line. Defense collapses because they know he can shoot that shot and knock it down. And now Harrison Barnes, Champagnie, Carter Bryant, whoever it is, they're open in the corner. Moving on, though, I'm not worried about Vassell. He'll get it back together. And this wasn't even a bad game for him. His three-point shooting wasn't great, but I'm really not worried about Devin Vassell. Luke Kornet gives us 5 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block. Kornet had a great game, in my opinion. That's all we really need from him. If you give us 5 points and 8 rebounds, that's fine. Like, that's what I expect Luke Kornet to do for us. Again, we need an upgrade at the starting small forward or power forward position. We don't even need a crazy 3-point shooter. Again, I'm just hating on Harrison Barnes, and it's just true. I can find someone that can shoot 20% from 3 for 20 games in a row, but they can at least give me like 5 to 10 rebounds per game. Harrison Barnes has just been ice cold, and we just can't ignore it anymore. It's just too glaring to ignore. Dylan Harper has 5 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. He's plus 18 out there. Again, I was back and forth between the football game and the second half, but Dylan Harper, he was obviously out there for the run, and Dylan Harper, he's our point guard of the future. He got this 16 minutes this game, so as long as Dylan's getting 15 or more minutes per game, I'd like to see him get around 20 minutes per game just so we can keep him developing. But Dylan Harper looks like a special young player. He's a rookie. I'm not going to be worried about our rookies for the most part, but Dylan's great. He's a great playmaker. He does a great job getting into the paint. He actually had it was one play in the first half. He's out on the fast break. He bumps, was it Zion? He bumped somebody off for the dunk. So that was one nice play I saw from Dylan Harper in the first half. Carter Bryant, we briefly talked about him. He's 2 for 5 from 3 for his 6 points, 2 rebounds, no turnovers, and just the highest motor on our entire team. Carter Bryant gets out there, and he brings the juice, he brings the nasty, which we need really bad. And every second Carter Bryant's on the court, he just, what's the word I'm looking for? He just like infects the rest of the team with energy. You can see our defensive energy just go up when Carter Bryant's on the court, just like it would when Jeremy Sohan would get minutes. But we're obviously looking to most likely trade Jeremy Sohan before the trade deadline. And I hope we do, because I love Jeremy Sohan. If we're not going to give Jeremy minutes on our team, let him go somewhere else and be a demon for another team, because Jeremy, he's a starting caliber player on a lot of teams, or he's at least a 20-minute plus rotation player off the bench. And we could use Sohan's energy out there. And if we're not going to play him, at least let his replacement in Carter Bryant start to get some minutes out there. Carter should be starting, honestly. If he's not starting, then Devin Vassell should be starting, and Harrison Barnes should come off the bench. It's not Harrison Barnes' fault we lost this game. We were just poor. We played poor as a team, just poor effort. But again, Mitch Johnson, he needs to make that adjustment. There's no excuse to be starting Harrison Barnes anymore. I know Mitch loves to roll with his veterans, and Harrison Barnes is a great veteran. He's a great locker room presence. He shows the guys how to be ready and how to be professional game in and game out. And I just don't I just don't know if we even need Harrison Barnes anymore, to be honest. Once we're really competing for championships, Harrison Barnes is not going to be our starter at power forward, and that's just the truth of it. Last but not least, Wembanyama, he takes 16 shots to score 16 points. It's terrible. We'll just call it what it is. If you have as many points as you do shots, that's just a very inefficient night, in my opinion. He's 2 for 10 from 3. Got a little three ball happy. Even in the first half, which I watched all of, he was taking a little too many threes. But New Orleans, they just did a great job defensively. I'm not sure who was guarding Wemby. I think it was Sadiq Bey. The recipe for guarding Wembanyama is out. You get like a 6'7", 6'8" physical guard like a Lou Dort. Houston did a good job guarding Wemby. I forgot who they used on him. I believe it was Sadiq Bey playing defense on Wemby. So again, just get a physical like 6'7", 6'8" guard that weighs like 240, 250. They can just get under Wemby and kind of prevent him from backing them down. And that's the recipe to making things tough for Wembanyama. Is that going to work for the rest of Wemby's career? And you just put a 6'8" strong power forward on him that can move laterally, and now they're just going to shut Wemby down. No, that's not going to happen. Wemby's going to make adjustments. He's going to get better at playing offense versus these kinds of guys, and he's going to be cooking these types of matchups sooner or later. But it comes down to Mitch Johnson as well. We need to get Wemby the ball in better spots. He's been getting a lot of catches right there at the free throw line. Been getting catches right there at either elbow. And I love Wemby catching the ball in those positions, but again, we just need a physical power forward, a physical small forward that can help Wemby out, because he was kind of running out of gas later in the game because Zion is just banging on him and banging on him all game long. They were playing so physical on Wemby, and even as a Spurs fan, I have to admit it does wear him out, and it kind of took away from what he was able to do at the offensive end, because they're just attacking him when he's on defense. He comes back on offense, and same thing. They just have a Sadiq Bey, just a small, strong physical guard, small, strong physical forward that can get under Wemby, and that just has good leverage to stop Wemby from backing them down. But Wemby has 16 points and 16 rebounds. He has 4 blocks, and that's an off game for Wemby. Wemby's just so amazing. We expect so much out of him. And I'm sure if you ask Wemby if he had a good game this game, he'd be the first one to tell you, hell no, that was a bad game. We played terrible as a team, and he would not call this a good game for himself, even though he had 16 points, 16 rebounds, and 4 blocks. He had the 3 turnovers as well, so that's not great. But just a poor effort as a team. New Orleans came out. We beat them the past 4 games in a row. We beat New Orleans. We came out, even like the first 2 or 3 minutes of the game, I could just tell we're not playing hard. We have poor effort and poor energy. We tried to turn it on the third quarter, early fourth. We cut the 20-point lead down. We went up like 4 or 5 points at one point in the fourth quarter, and then, we just shit the bed. We didn't deserve to win this game with how we came out. With our poor energy, and New Orleans just took advantage of it, and they deserve to win and we deserve to lose. But please like and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 7 million subscribers. Let me know what you thought about our effort out here tonight, and just what you thought about just our performance as a team, because I feel like we just came out with really poor energy and just expected New Orleans to roll over and die and just let us win the game. Here you go, Spurs. Here's an easy win for you guys, and just obviously not what happened. Please like and subscribe. We'll see y'all next time. Peace out, bro.